Let's talk about Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness by the Smashing Pumpkins. Now, of course, I've been aware of the Smashing Pumpkins for many years, being a massive fan of bands like Nirvana and Soundgarden and all that kind of thing of the era. I'd heard, like, obviously the big hits off this album I was familiar with, and I was familiar with Siamese Dream. I've heard that album before, of course. But I've never listened to this record, really, until, the last week, because I was always a bit intimidated by its runtime. This record is 2 hours and 2 minutes long and has 28 tracks, an incredibly ambitious album. But I had to hop on here and talk about this record a little bit because of how blown away I've been by it over the last couple of weeks. Now, obviously, the Smashing Pumpkins are famously like an alternative grunge band. Often compared to the likes of Nirvana, though I think they're very different in sound to a lot of the other kind of grunge groups of the era. But what's so amazing about this album, and what is so kind of interesting about it as an entire piece, is not only its massive scope and ambition, but the fact that it beautifully blends moods and different types of genres and styles of rock. This album ranges from noisy, aggressive, angry rock songs to incredibly beautiful, melancholic, acoustic type ballads, and just as a result ranges through so many different moods and feelings through its sound and the lyrics, and it is just absolutely fantastic. Now, Billy Corgan's voice doesn't do it for everybody. He's a very divisive singer, as far as what I can tell, but I think his voice really suits all these kinds of different songs that he's written on this LP. I mean, like, the range of feelings he brings through his lyrics and vocal performances are incredibly interesting and really powerful. This album is very moody, as you could probably imagine through a title like that, but it is through the kind of diversity of the styles that you find within the record that the heavier moments do indeed really hit hard on many tracks. This album sounds fantastic. The noisy, epic bits of the record are incredibly satisfying and entertaining, and the more kind of slower paced, more moody tracks are incredibly beautiful as well. And obviously the album has a huge length, but it doesn't feel like the album wastes any time. Every single track, there's something interesting going on musically, and again, like I say, the scope of this album being as huge as it is gives it a really epic feel. Not only does it sound epic musically, but feels epic due to the just volume of different feels and tracks. This is an absolutely fantastic record, and I think it is a shame that I hadn't listened to it earlier. If you've never heard it, I highly, highly recommend it. I'm sure you've all heard 1979 and Bullet with Butterfly Wings and stuff like that, but there are so many fantastic songs on this album. Definitely give it a listen if you haven't.